Hello there. In this video we're going to look at some more straight line graph work, and we're going to start by looking at how you find the equation of a line that's parallel to another particular line. Question A. Right, to proceed, so we're going to find the line parallel to y equals 3x plus 2 that passes through 0, minus 2. Let's just clear some room for working. So question A. So it's parallel to y equals 3x plus 2 and it passes through 0, minus 2. Now if it's parallel, that means the gradients are the same. The gradient of the first line equals the gradient of the second line. Now the gradient, remember, is the number in front of x when it's in the form y equals 3x plus 2. So we're halfway there already. I know that my answer is y equals 3x. Oh, inconsistent use of colours. If you can count the number of times I've used that phrase in my videos, then please contact me for a free gift. So the answer is y equals 3x plus some number. And you've already picked up maybe one, perhaps even two method marks for spotting that the link, if they're parallel, same gradient. Now, it passes through the point 0, minus 2. That means when x is 0, y equals minus 2. So my equation must satisfy that. So what I do is I substitute x equal to 0 and y equal to minus 2 into my equation. So I get minus 2 equals 3 times 0 plus some number. Let's simplify that. So minus 2 equals plus c. Well, I've got it, haven't I? I've got that c must equal minus 2. And now the full equation of the line, the answer to the question is y equals 3x minus 2. Done it. Right. Now let's look at the second question. Find the line, and this is the key one here. This is almost A star rather than grade A. Find the line perpendicular to y equals 4x minus 3 that passes through 0, 7. So let's get that. So part B, y equals 4x. Hang on. Pause. Y equals 4x minus 3 and it passes 0, 7. Now the key word here is perpendicular. Now if two lines are perpendicular, then the relationship is this. The gradient of the first one is equal to minus 1 over the gradient of the second one. Now what's the gradient of our first one? It's 4. So the gradient of the line I want is 1 over 4 with a minus sign put in front. So now I've got half of the answer I need. Y equals minus a quarter x plus c. Now to work out c, I use the fact that it passes through this point here, 0, 7. So when x is 0, y equals 7. So I'll substitute those values in. I'll substitute x equal to 0 and y equal to 7 in. And I get 7, whoops a daisy, inconsistent use of colours. There's 2 in this video. So 7 is equal to minus a quarter times 0 plus c. Or minus a quarter, anything times 0 is 0. So 7 is equal to plus c. And it looks like I've got my answer now. The full equation of the line is y equals minus a quarter x plus 7. Now, I could have saved myself a bit of time if I'd been on the ball. I was told that it passed through the point 0, 7. In other words, if my brain had been in gear, I'd have realised that it passed through across the y-axis at 7. So that would have been the number that was added on at the end. Right, now the last one is the trickiest. third one, big part is trickiest. Find the perpendicular bisector of the line segment 2 minus 1, 4, 5. Really tricky. I don't believe this is grade A. The textbook says it is. Because we've got a couple of stages here. First, I've got to find the gradient of the line that joins 2 minus 1 and 4, 5. Well, the gradient is how much the y coordinates changed. They went up by 6, divided by how much the x coordinates changed. They changed by 2. So the gradient is 3. So the gradient of the point that joins 2 minus 1 to 4, 5, that little line segment, has a steepness of 3. Now, I want to work out the gradient of the line that's perpendicular to it. Well, the gradient of the perpendicular is, as we saw in an earlier video, 1 over the other gradient with a minus sign put in front. Now, I don't know which point it passes through. Well, I do actually. It says it's the perpendicular bisector, so it cuts it halfway. So it passes through the midpoint, and the midpoint would have coordinates. Well, add the y coordinates together, minus 1, add 5 is 4, and then halve it, 2. And add the x coordinates together, 2 add 4 is 6, halve it is 3. So my graph, my straight line passes through the point 3, 2. So the equation of my line is y equals minus 1/3 x plus c. Now, all I have to do, this is probably going to be towards the end of the exam paper I imagine, is substitute in the values that when x is 3, y equals 2. So 2 is equal to minus 1/3 times 3 plus c. Might be in a calculator or non-calculator paper. 2 is minus 1/3 times 3. A third times 3 is 1, so minus 1/3 times 3 is 1. So 2 is equal to 1 plus c, and that implies that c equals 1. So the full equation of my line, I didn't use that phrase then, did I? Is that y equals minus 1/3 x plus 1. Now, if you're getting questions that like this right, and you've got the earlier ones, I think you're well on the way to a grade A star. Okay, thank you for listening.